Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be doing a video about Nio. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investor journey together. Today we're going to be doing a video about Nio. Where do I think Nio is going to be headed by the end of the year? Should you buy Nio stock at $42.31? I hope to answer all those questions for you guys by the end of the video. Before I start the video, though, I just want everybody to know that everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It is just my personal opinion and for educational purposes only. So with that being said, let's get started with the video. So let's talk about Nio. What's been going on with Nio stock, kind of some upcoming news and kind of stuff like that. So if you guys don't know what Nio actually is, Nio is an EV company based out of China. They produce luxury EV cars, pretty similar to what Tesla does here in the United States, but Nio has been making a huge show for itself the last couple of years. So if we take a look at the 1 year chart, up 624%. We can see that this time last year, Nio was around $7.72 a share. We see here on January 12th, Nio did have a high of $62, even got as high as $66 at one point, and has slowly kind of made its way back down. Looking at the 3-month chart, it's down 4.79%. And for the 1 month chart, it's been doing pretty well, up 15.04%. And looking at the 1 week chart, it's up 3.47%. And today it's actually down about 3%. And, with Nio stock, a lot of people have been talking about Nio. Nio has kind of been in the news a lot the last couple of years. It's been doing very well for itself. Its deliveries as far as its EV cars go, they're always on target. They're always hitting new records on their overall deliveries, which is very, very good. We know that EV is a market that's very explosive. It has a lot of growth coming its way, but it's always tough to kind of pick, which EV company is going to be the best or which EV company is 100% going to be the most successful. I can almost guarantee you guys that Nio is 100% going to be a top EV company, and it is going to be 100% the top representation of China and what they're kind of doing over there with the EV game. Now, I know right now Nio currently sits at $42.31. Now, going back to the 3-month chart, it has not been a good couple of months for Nio stock. We see here that Nio has hit a low right here on May 13th of $31.22. Even for me, I've had Nio stock for a very long time. Seeing it at those prices, was very scary. It was very dismotivating. I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen Nio stock at $31 and probably what was close to almost a year. So it was very crazy to see, Nio retest those prices. But for me, knowing how Nio is going to perform, knowing how Nio is performing, I knew that, that was a very good opportunity to buy the dip on the stock. And even currently sitting at $42.31, I highly recommend people actually buy the dip on Nio stock. I absolutely think Nio is worth the investment. We see how explosive the EV game has become over the last couple of years. We see how far Tesla has come. We see how far Nio is going. They're posting back-to-back, record deliveries month after month. And even at the beginning of the year, we did get a kind of look into Nio Day, what Nio actually plans on doing over the next couple of years. They plan on producing their ET7 sedan, which they do say is going to be their best-selling vehicle. So this is 100% going to boost Nio sales over the next couple of years. And we also got a better look how Nio is trying to perfect its self-autonomous driving technology, almost kind of like its autopilot. We see that Nio is trying to do like its battery as a service, which in my opinion does differentiate Nio a lot from its overall competition because Nio is the only EV company that actually does this. What do I mean by battery as a service? What I basically mean is if you own a Nio vehicle in China, you can stop by one of these battery swap stations. It takes under 3 minutes and you can swap out your dead battery for a fully charged battery and then continue on your way. Like I said, in my opinion, I think that's very innovative. And the fact that Nio is the only EV company that does this really does push its overall competitive advantage. And I know, like I said, it's been a rough couple of months for Nio stock. A lot of people probably bought it at the highs, $66, $65, $55. I don't want you guys to worry because I know that Nio is going to be able to retest those prices. We did have a huge EV market correction that lasted about 2 to 3 months. So a lot of EV companies were kind of sitting in a bear market. That's perfectly normal. It is perfectly normal for, a lot of stocks to take normal pullback. It's normal for stocks to kind of take a correction. A lot of EV companies, took about a 20 to 40% correction. It was pretty scary at one point to see all these EV stocks. But if you know anything about investing or if you're just starting your investing journey, if you're bullish about the company, you've done your due diligence, the company is good, those are the perfect opportunities to buy the dip. That's generally the problem when it comes to investing. People always buy at the highs because they start FOMOing into investments. For me, I always buy on red days. I think that's the best idea. When I saw Nio Stock at $31 and saw what the company actually does offer and where the company could be going in the next 2 to 5 years, I took the opportunity and bought as much Nio Stock as possible, and I felt this way about a bunch of other EV companies like CCIV and Workhorse. I'm very bullish on those EV companies as well. But Nio posting, record deliveries every single month, them expanding their product line, we know that they're expanding into Europe pretty soon here, the second half of this year, and we're kind of getting pretty close to that they're going to start making an appearance in Norway. There's also rumors that Nio is going to be making an appearance in the United States as well. And I'm not going to be surprised. I do think that Nio will eventually start selling cars here in the United States. And that's only going to boost Nio's credibility a little bit more, along with its Chinese backing from the Chinese government. Like I said, Nio is going to be the top representation of the Chinese EV game, and it's doing very well for itself. Like I said, posting record deliveries, it's expanding its product line. It plans on producing a lot more vehicles, and it continues to try to expand its overall business innovation and its overall network. So where does this leave Nio? Where do I think Nio is going by the end of the year? For me, at the beginning of the year, when Nio was sitting around $65, $70 a share, I did have a price prediction of Nio Stock at $100. Unfortunately, I did have to lower that price target. I'm still bullish on the stock. It's not like I don't think that Nio Stock is going to do well over the next couple of years, or the fact that Nio Stock isn't going to eventually hit $100. I do think that Nio is going to hit $100. And if anything, I think Nio will actually hit $200 over the next 2 to 3 years. But by the end of the year, for Nio Stock to make over a 100% jump, it's going to be very, very tough, especially because right now market conditions aren't that good and people are kind of still hesitant to kind of start throwing money back into the market. There's a lot of fear in the market right now. Even though we've made a slight recovery, there's still a lot of fear that's kind of running around. But I still think right now is a very good opportunity to buy Nio Stock at $42.31. I do think it does offer a lot of long-term significant value, and I do want people to know this if they are investing in Nio Stock, that it does offer a lot of longer-term value, like 1 to 2 years. So if you're going to buy Nio Stock, just be patient with it. I've been holding Nio Stock for over a year now. I don't really care what it does because I know in the long term that Nio Stock is going to do a lot of great things. But my overall price prediction for Nio Stock is still $75 to $80 by the end of this year. I do think that Nio Stock can hit these targets, like I said, with its growing sales and its overall recovery, and the fact that it's still expanding. Nio was doing all the right things, but the market conditions in itself did not suffice for itself to continue to grow. So it took a big pullback. Even though it was selling more vehicles, it was expanding. It's releasing its ET7 sedan. It was signing contracts with all these manufacturers to start putting up their battery swap stations. Nio had so much great news, but the stock continued to fall. At that point, there's not really much you can do. It's kind of out of the investor's control. But in the long term, Nio is going to be a 100% winner. So I do recommend people buy the dip on Nio Stock, $42.31. And I do think that Nio Stock is going to hit $80 by the end of this year. With that being said, guys, that's all I really have to say about the video. You guys let me know down in the comments section below, guys, what you think of Nio Stock. Do you guys think Nio Stock can hit $80 by the end of this year? If you guys own Nio Stock, how many shares do you guys own and what's your average? I'm always very curious to know. With that being said, guys, thank you. Have a great day.